Hi everyone, I'm Sylvie. It is that time of year again. It is the spring Sephora savings event, which by the time this video is up has already begun. I'm going to show you guys a full face of my absolute favorite Sephora products to help you figure out the best items to put in your cart for the sale this year. My full list of the Sephora sale recommendations will be linked down below if you want to see how I created this look, which is absolute perfection. Do stick around. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and hit the notification bell. It massively helps me out, and you will be notified when my next video goes up. I normally never wear primer, I just have moisturizer on my face. I'm going to start off with the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation in the shade 260 Light Medium Cool. This is an amazing shade match for me. It's so hard to find those olive undertones, but that's what makes me love this foundation even more. I have done a full in-depth review on this foundation, which I'll link down below, so I'm not going to go too much into it. This is the most perfect foundation I have ever found. In my last Sephora sale picks video, my favorite was the ARMANI Luminous Silk, and I was a little resistant to say this at first, but I couldn't deny that this foundation, look at that finish. It is so perfecting, and I've never found like a luminous or hydrating foundation that gives you this smooth of a finish. And I use the BK Beauty 101 brush. This is a new one that they sent over. This is my new favorite foundation brush. It's so seamless. Here's the difference side by side. It is so freaking perfect. It's glowy but smooth and filtered. I don't know how they do that. And also this lasts all day. Armani Luminous Silk is still one of the most beautiful foundations in the world, but this one is just a little bit ahead because it makes your skin look so juicy and plump. And once your makeup is done and powdered, your skin looks so perfect and full of life. I have no other way to explain it. And it meshes into your skin so well. It doesn't sit on top of your skin. It doesn't even look like that much of a difference. It's given me, with this amount, like a light medium to medium coverage, but it still looks like my skin texture, but still smooth, which is crazy. I'm gonna finish the other side of my face. This just looks unfreaking believable. It's reflecting a lot of glow because of my lights, but once I'm done all my makeup, this is gonna look so good. If I could only have one concealer, this would be it. It's the Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer. Now, I did get this a few years ago, and my makeup style and shade preference was a little bit different. I liked a slightly brighter under eye. So I got this in the shade 2W Olive, which is one shade lighter than my foundation. I also used to color correct under my eyes, which is why I got the olive shade to match my olive skin. But when I repurchase this concealer again, I would probably get the shade 3W because I don't like color correcting under my eyes anymore. I just like to find a concealer that does it all. 3W has enough warmth to correct and conceal under my eyes without making it look too bright. For the sake of this video, I did correct under my eyes just a little bit so that I could show you guys this concealer and that this shade would work. This concealer is so full coverage, but it's also creamy and hydrating. And with full coverage concealers, I always like to go off the back of my hand, and I like to take like a dense angled concealer brush and I'll just barely lightly dip it in because I really don't like too much coverage. But I love full coverage concealers because you can really sheer them out and you don't have to use a lot to get the coverage that you want. I haven't used this one in a while because my shade preference is a little bit different. As you can see, it is a little bit lighter, but that's okay. We can work with it. You saw how little amount I took and it just gave me so much coverage still, which is amazing because especially if you're someone that doesn't like a lot of product on your face, or you're starting to see fine lines and you're aging, you want a product that has higher coverage, but that you're able to use a small amount of so it doesn't cake up and build up. Then I usually like to take a sponge to push the product in and take any excess off. And here is how it looks compared to my unconcealed side. It's actually not too bad. This is really nice. I would totally wear this for like a night out, but this looks pretty good for a natural day as well. I should probably wear this one more. A close up, you can see it is absolutely completely seamless with the skin. It has a really similar texture actually, or finish to the Haus Labs foundation. So it blends in to each other really, really well. It doesn't look cakey at all, but it still gave me beautiful coverage. This is honestly probably as much coverage as I would like on a daily basis, but just for the sake of this video, I want to do a little bit more and bring it down this way to make it look, I don't know, kind of like a natural glam. Why not? I don't have that much darkness or hyperpigmentation anymore since I've really found the skincare that works for me. So I'm not taking any extra concealer or product here. I'm literally just taking whatever's left on the brush and pressing that onto center parts of my face because I don't want to add extra coverage there. The foundation's already doing it. I just want to take that extra little pigment that's already on the brush to brighten those areas and make everything look seamless so the colors just blend in together better. I might just press in a little bit on the chin. I don't want to take away too much from the House Labs color. And I will just take literally a touch of the tiniest amount to brighten the center of my forehead. So here's the difference from one side to the other. Let me go finish the other side and I'll be right back. And I still have that much concealer left on my hand, which is crazy. Let's move on. Next step for me is cream bronzer. For years and years since it's been released, my favorite cream and powder bronzer has been the Patrick Ta Major Sculpt Contour and Bronzer Duo. This is in the shade She Sculpted, which I prefer for my normal skin tone. When I'm tan, I do like She's Bronzed more. There are so many reasons why I love this bronzer duo. First of all, the formula is just so foolproof. The cream is not super pigmented and neither is powder, so you can really build it up and it's meant to be that way. It's meant to look elevated and refined. It's just pretty much foolproof. You can see how nicely that went on and you don't have to do too much work because it's not super pigmented, but it gives you just enough for the perfect amount of definition. So if you're someone that loves that natural or even soft glam and you don't like too punchy contrast, you're gonna love this because it just gives you such a refined look. I honestly from the get-go have always believed that, and even see in the way that his products perform, that Patrick Ta creates products that make the result look like what it would look like if he did your makeup. I mean, obviously leave some room for your skill level versus his, but that finish is something that I see in the makeup that he does. And then it's also just the convenience of having two products in one. I hate, even though I've used things like liquid and other cream bronzers, the fact that I have to open so many different containers and products when I'm doing my makeup, it's really annoying, and especially when I travel. I just really love the convenience, and especially as someone that has little kids now, I don't have a lot of time to finick through my makeup kit, and I just want to grab something and be able to do several different things with it, and those multi-purpose products. The other thing that I love to do with the cream bronzer is to just put it on my eyelids. I don't put concealer or anything on my eyelids anymore. I just like to use the natural shadowing that I have as sort of a base for my eyeshadow, and then I like to go in with the cream bronzer and buff it out so that it just gives me that definition. So here are both sides done. I love how subtly contoured everything is. Let's move on to blush. For cream blush, my top pick once again goes to Patrick Ta Blush Duo Formulas. She's Blushing is my original favorite blush shade. This might be my overall favorite blush shade of all time. It is so perfect and versatile. It works on so many different skin tones, from light to medium, even a little bit deeper medium skin tone, and the undertone is perfect. It's this warm beigey browniness with a little bit of rosiness. I don't know how to explain it, but it is just the most unique and perfect color. I also really love one of his newer shades, which is Not Too Much. They are very similar, but Not Too Much is a little bit lighter and just slightly more pink. It's less warm than She's Blushing. I'm having a really hard time deciding, so just give me a minute and I'll be right back. I think I'm gonna go with Not Too Much today because I am not as tan, and even though She's Blushing would work just fine on me, I just feel like going with something a little bit softer today. So we're gonna do the same thing and go in with the cream portion of this. I love this blush duo for exactly the same reason as I do the bronzer duo. The formulas are pretty much the same, I feel like, especially for the cream parts. They're just so foolproof and easily buildable. Look at that. You don't know where the lines end and begin. It just melts in so beautifully. It doesn't sit on top of the skin. It doesn't feel greasy. It's so nice. and that is a really pretty soft like beigey pink color. Every single time I wear these blush formulas, I can't stop staring at my skin. It's just so pretty. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna go finish the other side and I'll come back and show you the full thing. Listen, if you guys know a better cream or liquid blush than this, let me know, because I have not tried or found anything since these came out that I love more. So yeah, if you think there's a good contender, leave your comments down below. So here is the blush. It's just the creams on. My gosh, I could leave my face like this as is all day unset, because I just love how juicy my skin looks right now. I mean, let's move on to the powders. Before I start setting my face with powder, I do like to set those cream bronzer area and just get it done with. So I'm gonna go in with the powder portion of that bronzer duo. I forgot to mention, for the cream blush, I use the BK Beauty 109, which is like a mini version of that 101 foundation brush. I'll have all my brushes linked down below as well in the description box. If I forget anything, you can go look down there. I'm going in with my BK Beauty 112, which is a fluffy angled brush for the cheeks. I'm gonna start setting those bronzed areas. I really like this brush because it's small and fits into those areas and helps me to not put too much bronzer where I shouldn't and it go all muddy. Before powder blush, I do like to go ahead and start setting the center of my face. So my favorite loose powder right now, and I'm not even particularly a fan of powders, I haven't been for a long time because I have super dry skin, but since I discovered the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Powder, I don't know why it took me so long to get into this. I just immediately fell in love. It is so finely milled, so lightweight, but it sets the heck out of your makeup, blurs your skin, and this shade is in one of her new shades, Peach Pie, which is literally perfect for if you are medium brown skin and you are trying to brighten your under eye. That peach tone is going to do an amazing job of brightening. I'm going to take a little bit on my hand and I'm taking my BK Beauty 110 brush. I'm going to dip my entire brush into this and saturate the entire head of the brush. And then I'm going to go ahead and just focus on setting these like corners of my face, what I would call like those greasy hot spots. Okay, so most of the product I put on that side of the face because this is where I really don't want it to get shiny or move. Once that's on, I sort of take a smaller brush. You can take the same brush if you want. I just like a little bit more precision and control because I don't want to really bring that powder too far down here and make it too dry once I also put the powder blush on there. And then I've just saturated the top of that brush again, and I'm going to go ahead and press that powder into the center of my face where I have the rest of those concealed areas. And then whatever is left over, I'm just gonna go around anywhere else that's shiny. I don't like to go with too much powder in this area because I really like to keep it as natural of a texture as possible, but I haven't taken any extra powder and I'm just going ahead and pressing it into any other areas that I feel like are excessively shiny. Can you see how absolutely filtered and perfect the skin looks? I'll even get close up here and it is so blurred and perfect, and it doesn't look cakey or dry. It just looks really beautiful and it looks amazing on camera. And now I'm going to go in with the powder portion of this blush. I'm going in with the Nikki LaRose brush in N17. I'm just going to tap that in. That is the difference with the powder blush and no powder blush. It really just brings everything in together, and having that powder on top of the cream intensifies the color. And this formula is not like a super matte finish. It is a satin finish, so it still leaves this like beautiful sheen, but it also filters your skin. All of these products work hand in hand to like smooth and filter your skin, which is insane. So there is the done side. To me, it's perfect. It's not too intense. I really love it. So let me just go finish the other side and I'll be right back. So here is the blush done. This is a really perfect tone for if you don't like too punchy of a blush and you want something that's sort of barely there. Obviously, I've like built up the intensity a bit for the sake of the video, but yeah, it's just really soft. So I don't really wear a lot of eye makeup these days. Most days I just wear mascara. But what I do love to do is just taking a highlighter and just defining my eyes. So the one that I love for literally everything is this Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette, which is just one of the most beloved pieces I have in my collection and my kit. You get 4 of the most customizable shades. I mix them all the time, so I'll show you guys how I use this. The first thing I like to do is highlight the inner corners with the champagne shade. So I'll just add a teeny little bit to the inner corner, and if I want to brighten it a bit more, I just go into that like white shade, and it's really nice to mix that with the champagne if you want like a more brighter look. And then I do like adding a little bit to the brow bone, and then I'll take the bronzy shade and then I like putting that all over the lid. This is like one of the most beautiful undone bronzy looks ever. But if you can see the sheen that it gives you on the eye, it's like this refined sheen, almost like a glossy look. And then I'll put that underneath as well. I just love how elevated this palette makes your makeup look. So that's all I will do for the eyes. This one's a really buttery highlighter, so it's gonna melt in really well with whatever look you're doing. So that's as much eyeshadow I will add to the eye, and then the rest is just mascara. The one that is my all-time favorite mascara right now is the Lancome Lash Idole Mascara. I've always had this on my wish list. I've had this on my wish list for years, but I never actually got it. And then Lancome sent me this in PR this year, and when I tried it, I immediately fell in love. It builds up your lashes absolutely perfectly. Like, it adds that denseness to the base, but then leaves the tops really smooth, not clumpy, and just flares it out really beautifully. My formula is drying out a bit. It's been like 6 months now, but I still have it and it still builds up the lashes so beautifully. I don't need any other mascara. This is the only one I'd be happy having. So let me go ahead and finish the rest of my mascara and I'll be right back. That's my favorite mascara. Last but not least is lips. So lips is probably the only thing I don't heavily invest in at Sephora because I can't fathom spending like $20+ on a lip liner. So I'm just gonna go ahead with what I normally use, which is either my Rimmel Brownie Pie, but today I'm going to use the NYX liner in the shade Brown to contour and the shade Natural to fill in the lips. To finish off the lips, there are a few lip products that I have loved consistently over the past like few years. The first one being, and this is on my last leg, it's my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk in the shade Medium in the mini. Here is the color. It is this beautiful brownie mauve, and it's just a really perfect color for medium to medium deep skin tones if you want that like rosy look. And then to finish things off, I like to use the Patrick Ta Major Glow Lip Shine in the shade She's Expensive. Isn't that the most stunning gloss? I really only put that in the center and it gives you the most amazing wet reflect. So I actually think that lip color is a little bit too intense for this look, so I'm going to change it up a little bit. So just hold on, I'll be right back. I just wiped a bit of that gloss off, and actually it doesn't look too bad when the gloss is not on because it doesn't make everything look so intense. But what I am going to do is go in with another Patrick Ta favorite of mine, which is his Silky Lip Creme in the shade She's Independent. I love like a nude beigey lip, so this has been one that I've enjoyed a lot over the years. You know, I was a teenager in the early 2000s because I love like a beigey nude lip. So let me just touch up the powder and everything and I'll be right back. Here is the finished look. I just can't get over how perfect everything looks. And I've said this before in a previous Sephora Sale Picks video that when you are using your top like favorite of every category of makeup, your makeup will just kill it. And I don't do my makeup like this often, and definitely not like I used to anymore, like getting a little bit glammed up. I forget how amazing it is to just do a glam like this using all your favorite products and just really going all out. So I don't have too much to say. You guys can see how everything performed and how beautiful everything looks. The skin is perfect. This is the most perfect foundation ever. The blush, I to this day still believe that nobody does a blush like Patrick Ta. You can prove me wrong, but what do you guys think? Do you like this look? Are there any products that you feel like beat out any of the ones that I used today? If so, do leave them down below and let me know if I'm missing out. It has been so much fun doing this video with you guys. Everything that I use is linked down below, and if you guys want a full list of my Sephora sale recommendations, it is also going to be linked down below. Go ahead and look through that full list to see if your favorite product is on there and if it's a sign that you should go and get it. Thank you guys for sticking with me till the end of this video. I will see you again next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.